In the headlines, task force in Niger State neutralize bandits, recover cows and sheep from fleeing bandits. INEC expresses concern over low turnout at ongoing voters registration in Kaduna State. Teachers in Abuja Municipal Area Council call off strike action. ECOWAS suspends Burkina Faso following coup. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Zainab Bala. Hello and welcome. Now, joint task force operations in Niger State have killed dozens of bandits terrorizing communities in Munya and Shiro local government areas of the state. The Commissioner of Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Internal Security, Emmanuel Umar, confirmed the incident, adding that animals recovered include over 300 cows and over 100 sheep and will be kept under the care of the State Ministry of Livestock. He said while many bandits were neutralized, some security operatives also lost their lives, though he declined giving the number of security men who lost their lives. He, however, added that arrangements have been made to take care of the families of the slain security operatives. The commissioner noted that the state government will establish a committee to fashion out modalities to identify the real owners of the intercepted animals or otherwise auction them and remit the proceeds to the state treasury. Police in Kano State have explained why policemen arrested a former Kano State Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Muazu Magaji. Magaji, a fierce critic of the governor, was arrested by the police in Abuja shortly after granting a live interview on Trust TV in Utako. Speaking to Daily Nigeria on Friday, the spokesman for the command, Abdullahi Kiyawa, said the police resorted to arrest after refusal to honorably submit himself to police for questioning despite several invitations. Kiyawa, a superintendent of police, said the police invited him following a directive of the court to investigate him. An eyewitness described the manner he was arrested by the police as brutal and unprofessional. Still ahead, the wife of the alleged kidnapper and killer of 5-year-old Hanifa Abubakar, Jamila Muhammad Sani, has been arraigned before Kano State Chief Magistrate Court sitting at Gidan Murtala on a charge of alleged concealing of a kidnapped victim. Jamila is standing trial on 4-count charge of concealing a kidnapped victim, conspiracy, kidnapping and culpable homicide. The prosecution, while reading the first information reports to Jamila, alleged that she concealed a kidnapped victim in her house for the period of 5 days. According to the prosecution, the offense contravenes Section 227 of Penal Code. Jamila denied the content of the first information report. Now, the prosecutor, Barrister Lamido Abba Soron Linki, prayed the court to remand the defendant in police custody pending when the case diary is ready. Chief Magistrate Muhammad Jibril ordered the defendant to be remanded in police custody and adjourned the sitting to 2nd February. Tanker explosion at Opa Iweka, Onitsha, Anambra State on Friday left many shops and buildings around the scene burnt. Reports say the fire explosion happened when a petrol tanker laden with premium motor spirit known as petrol sparked off fire at the popular Opa Iweka junction of the commercial hub. Daily Trust gathered that the incident occurred around 8:30 a.m. in front of the Relief Market. According to reports, the Relief Market fire outbreak is as a result of an articulated truck which broke down at the bad portion of the busy Onitsha-Owerri Expressway. Now, property worth millions of naira are lost on Thursday in an early morning fire at number 5 Oluboshola Street, Agege area of Lagos State. There was pandemonium as smoke suddenly covered the air from the compound made up of residential building and a church, St. Assembly Church. Reports say prior to the arrival of firemen, some sympathizers that besieged the scene took the risk to put out the fire, though with little success. The cause of the fire is yet to be identified. Some Nigerians have expressed divergent views over the present administration's economic policy, which some describe as not having a clear direction. Nigerians stated this in Bauchi State while reacting to the suspension of fuel subsidy. Trust TV's Adamu Imam reports.
Some Nigerians are of the view that the policy of the present government is not in good direction, noting that the suspension of removal of oil subsidy is not in the interest of the masses, but to satisfy their interest.
This way we are now, because the government has not removed the subsidy. The government is going to continue to give the subsidy, but there will be no regulation. That's what I mean. There will be no economic regulation. We don't know which type of economy we are running for now, and that will compound the suffering of the ordinary Nigerian. The purchasing power will definitely go down.
But this subsidy of 18 has been removed from time after time. But they're still bringing it back. It means that because the reason for all this, because the economy is not working. If the economy was working, there would be no need for bringing back this subsidy. Remember when President Buhari took over, he was against this subsidy. He removed the subsidy, but somehow from the back door they brought the subsidy back.
While others have a contrary opinion, says it's a good step that the federal government has suspended the plan after mounted pressure by Nigerians and the organized labor, saying that will give another hope for Nigerian people.
Temporary suspension, rather, of the subsidy is a good development. However, where the whole thing makes me uncomfortable is the fact that this same government is saying the removal will take effect 18 months from now, meaning when the government is out of power. So I think this makes the whole exercise an exercise in futility.
We are grateful, we are happy with it. At least it will ease our suffering. Yeah, that is a good one from the government. We pray that it shouldn't even come back again.
In short, it will affect everything of the Nigerian economy. And I'm sure they have really sat down to look at it from both sides and know that Nigerians really need, and they need succor, you understand? So I'm sure they took a good step in the right direction.
Therefore, they advise the federal government to find another solution to this matter, instead of increasing another untold hardship that people will not see the light of the day. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) expresses worry over the low turnout of residents in Kaduna State on the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise that started at a seminar organized by the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria to raise awareness on the need for stakeholders to create awareness for people to come out and register. The report.
Fielding questions from newsmen, the Residents Electoral Commissioner Dr. Asma'u Sani says before the 2019 general elections, Kaduna State was third after Lagos and Kano State in the country. But according to her, that statistics has changed.
When you look at the figures of the 2019 general elections, you will see that in terms of voters registration, Lagos came first, followed by Kano as second, and Kaduna came third. And we commenced the CVR, that's the continuous voters registration, in June last year, 2021. We did the first quarter then, we did the second quarter in 2021, now we are in the third quarter. And so far what we are seeing is that Kaduna is not doing very well. And because it's not doing very well, we felt that we have to engage all the stakeholders and inform them and sensitize them. And you know, we've been going to the radio, to the TV stations, we've been telling the people that there is a need for them to come out and register.
She said the exercise has also been hindered due to insecurity in Kaura, Kachia and Zangon Kataf local government areas.
I think the problem is the issue of insecurity that has bedeviled Kaduna. We all know that this is something that is not only in Kaduna, it's affecting a lot of other states in Nigeria. And in Kaduna, we have a local government, the Birnin Gwari local government, that when we went to do the CVR in June, you know, unfortunately, our staff were attacked, and because of that, the commission said, well, not only in Birnin Gwari, but any other place that there is insecurity, severe insecurity, our staff should not go until the security improves. And Alhamdulillah, I'm happy to say that, as we can all see, our security agencies are doing a very good job, and we hope to go back to all these local governments that we have not been going to in the past.
The Secretary General of the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria, Nafiu Baba Ahmed, says as leaders of the faith, they must do all they can to educate people on their civic responsibility.
INEC has provided this opening, this window for continuous voter registration. We felt there was need to remind people of its importance, and also to draw their attention to the fact that it's not enough to simply register. For those that had registered before, that have registration, permanent voters registration card, and for those that we are calling upon to register, use the cards when it is time for election, because unless you use it, it is of no use. And whether we like it or not, we happen to be in a situation where the only system through which our leaders emerge, good or bad, is through this democratic process. And the democratic process is, contingent upon voting.
So far, about 179,508 registered online in Kaduna.
Elsewhere, Governor of Adamawa State, Ahmadu Fintiri, has applauded his counterpart, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, for providing infrastructure in the state. Fintiri gave the commendation on Thursday at the commissioning of the newly dualized 9.7 kilometers road.
Seyi Makinde, GSA. I bring to you the unlimited facilitation and warm regards of the government and good people of Adamawa State. Seyi is a first-time governor of PDP who is passionate about Oyo State. Seyi is so much in a hurry to change the fortune of his people for good. I must confess, the quantum of project I've seen in Oyo State has reinforced my belief in Seyi. Increased my respect for him. The alternative project funding approach initiative for the urban renewal campaign which Seyi have initiated is manifest in the provision of multiple road infrastructure.
When we say we're engineering a modern Oyo State, this is exactly what we mean. We mean we are designing and building a modern Oyo State. The foundation of that design is a proper road network. This is why we will not ignore any Bible road project started by our predecessors. And I'm saying it today. I'm giving them the credit. They started this road. Now we know it is possible for us to play politics with this road. But we could play politics with the development of our people. Okeogun is our bread basket and agricultural capital. And that is why we return Oisada to Shaki Township. So linking Okeogun up with the rest of the zones means that we can easily move our produce for exports, either by air through our airport or by sea through the dry ports at Moniya.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up. Group calls for increased funding for education. Stay with us.
Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus. Most people who fall sick with COVID-19 will experience mild to moderate symptoms and recover without special treatment. However, some will become seriously ill and require medical attention. The virus can spread from an infected person's mouth or nose in small liquid particles when they cough, sneeze, speak, sing, or breathe. These particles range from larger respiratory droplets to smaller aerosols. You can be infected by breathing in the virus if you're near someone who has COVID-19 or by touching a contaminated surface and then touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. The virus spreads more easily indoors and in crowded settings. Maintain a safe distance from others at least 2 meters even if they don't appear to be sick. Wear a mask in public, especially indoors or when physical distancing is not possible. Clean your hands often. Use soap and water or an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Cover your nose and mouth with your bent elbow or a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Stay home if you feel unwell. Get vaccinated. Properly fitted masks can help prevent the spread of the virus from the person wearing the mask to others. Masks alone do not protect against COVID-19 and should be combined with physical distancing and hand hygiene. Protect yourself and others around you by knowing the facts and taking appropriate precautions. Follow advice provided by your local health authority. This message is brought to you by Trust TV.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Here are our top stories. Joint task force operations in Niger State have killed dozens of bandits terrorizing communities in Muya and Shiroro local government areas of Niger State. And the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) expresses worry over the low turnout of residents in Kaduna State on the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise. Still ahead, as the world moves to recovery post-COVID-19 pandemic, the People's Republic of China has pledged to deepen cooperation with Nigeria to overcome major challenges of the country and to enhance development. Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Chi Jun-chung, made this known on Thursday in Abuja during the commemoration of the 2022 Chinese New Year celebration tagged the Year of Tiger.
The Year of Tiger really is very, very important for China. I do believe that in the year 2022, after COVID-19, we will embark on the new cooperation. I just laid out that we have 5 strategic goals, and also we have 5 prioritized areas, including infrastructure, ICT, industry, investment, import, and export. So I do believe that in the year 2022, China now is working hard on building our second goal, and during this process, it's very important for 2 countries to work together. For Nigeria, also it's very important. You're preparing for the next election, so I think the 2 countries can find a way to try to utilize the atmosphere of Tiger Years. That means we will have ambition, we will have bravery, we will have strength. Not only overcome the challenges and difficulties, especially about defeating the COVID-19, and most importantly, that 2 sides could embark on the deeper, broadened cooperation. So Chinese president laid out the initiative between China and Africa. The most important things, we have 9 programs. The first is about the health. The second is about poverty alleviation. The third is about the trade promotion. The fourth is about investment-driven the project. And the fifth is about the green development. The sixth is about digital economy. And the eighth is about the people communication. The last one is about security. So I do believe especially for Nigeria, China, the paramount importance we have to focus on.
Officials of Ogun State government sealed off the popular Kuto market in Abeokuta, the state capital, over filthy and unhygienic practices in and around the market. The officials also sealed a popular market and Oba Likpede market for violating environmental laws in the state. Daily Trust reports that the heap of refuse and indiscriminate dumping of refuse pervades the entire stretch of the market, despite the functional public refuse bin. Special advisor to the State Governor on Environment, Ola Oresanya, said the markets are shut to restore sanity to the markets, adding that the action is imperative to avert disaster and ensure good public health, despite previous warnings and meeting with the leadership of the market. Following an exchange written workable template for the payment of the arrears of old teachers in the Abuja Municipal Area Council, the Nigeria Union of Teachers have decided to call off its strike action. In a statement made available to school heads, the union directs all teachers in LEA AMAC to resume their duty post effective Monday, 31st January 2022. The statement further revealed that the agreement template and communique to this effect shall be sent to schools immediately. Federal government has been called upon to review the education curriculum to ensure that learning and teaching methods conform with the current reality of COVID-19 pandemic. During the unveiling of a policy brief on the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on education, a non-governmental organization also implored governments to increase budgetary allocation for education.
The National Board for Technical Education and other accrediting agencies should include digital latency as part of accreditation criteria for higher institutions. Improving digital frontier of higher institutions should not be at the behest of the school management. Rather, it should be a legal mandate for the establishment and maintenance of the institutions. Increase budget allocation for education. The federal government must make a concerted effort to increase investment in education by supporting higher institutions to build digital learning infrastructures. In the last 10 years, the budget allocation for education is less than 10% of the average. Government must take education seriously and improve investment in education to prepare young people for the present work life. Precisely, in 2011, 9.3% was the budgetary allocation for education. 2012, 9.86%. 2013, 10.1%. 2014, 10.5%. 2015, 10.7%. 2016, 7.9%. 2017, 7.4%. 2018, 7.04%. 2019, 7.05%. 2020, 6.7%. 2021, 5.6%. And year 2022, 7.9%. Increased investment in broadband penetration. Nigeria's internet penetration is currently poor. Therefore, the Nigerian Communications Commission must collaborate with the Ministry of Education that higher institutions and their suburb have access to quality internet.
About 40,000 Nigerians have signed a petition calling on the United Kingdom Home Office to either remove Nigeria from the list of countries whose citizens are required to take English proficiency tests or reduce the fees charged for the examination. The UK requires the citizens of any country willing to relocate to the country for work or study opportunities to take the International English Language Testing System test. But Nigerians are kicking against the policy, describing it as a rip-off. This is not the first time Nigerians are raising concerns about the policy, and the renewed energy was as a result of previous calls failing on deaf ears. In 2020, the UK Home Office, which is said to be primarily in charge of the test, told the BBC that it did not have evidence that most Nigerians speak English as a first language. The cost of the test, which currently stands between 80,000 naira and 90,000 in Nigeria, is almost 3 times the country's minimum wage of 30,000 naira. Apart from its high cost, the test is only valid for 2 years and can only be taken in 12 cities across the country. Individuals requiring it for their pursuit will have to take the test again if they fail or did not relocate to the UK after 2 years of taking the test. And in business, Nigerian Postal Service has added financial inclusion as part of its services to Nigerians, introducing its own e-debit card agency against platform and 27 new logistic vehicles for courier services. While unveiling the product on Thursday, the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, Isa Pantami, said they would also help the government in improving transparency and fighting corruption. He said the NiPost banking platform would allow NiPost to conduct financial transactions with, most importantly, Universal Postal Union member countries, as well as improve the financial system. On the international scene, West African bloc ECOWAS on Friday suspended Burkina Faso following a coup, but would not impose other sanctions for the time being. The bloc took to the resolution at a virtual summit. ECOWAS is also calling for the new junta to release ousted President Roch Kabore and other officials detained during Monday's coup, adding that it will hold another summit in Accra on February 3rd. The summit also decided to send a mission of ECOWAS chiefs of staff to Ouagadougou on Saturday. Kabore, elected in 2015 following a popular revolt that forced out strongman Blaise Compaoré, got re-elected in 2020, but following a year faced a wave of anger over the mounting toll from an insurgency that swept in from neighboring Mali. Now, UN agency on Friday says nearly 40% of people in Ethiopia's Tigray are suffering an extreme lack of food in the face of an extended de facto blockade of the war-hit region. The dire assessment published by the World Food Programme comes as humanitarian groups are forced to increasingly curtail activities because of the fuel and supply shortages, with aid having to be delivered by foot.
Severe hunger is tightening its grip on northern Ethiopia. After 15 months of conflict, almost 40% of Tigrayans are suffering an extreme lack of food. Meanwhile, across all three conflict-affected regions of the north, an estimated 9 million people are in need of humanitarian food assistance, the highest number yet.
And that's it on News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Stay with us.